मुझे पता नहीं चलता, मेरे दिमाग में जो भी आता है मैं बोल देती हूँ. I think Pooh would be Kamini's favorite Bollywood character for sure, क्योंकि वो भी अपनी favorite है. मुझे पता था कि this is not your sweet girl. This is not. And I've always played the sweet girl. I've always been the girl next door, just to be able to share space with the Naseeruddin Shah is, I think, stuff of bucket list for any actor.
Yeah.
Good content and good performance, no matter on what medium, will find its audience. The two things that I'm currently working on, and they are very different from Tandav and Shikharwati, both.
Kritika Kamra, welcome back on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you so much. Always such a pleasure to be here.
You're playing this character in Kaun Banegi Shikharwati, which is a complete opposite of what you are in real life. So how does it feel like to play a blonde in a way?
Yeah, it is. I think it's kind of liberating to play a shallow character,
Right.
where I know that she's not likable. Let's face it, she's not likable at all. She's insensitive, she's shallow, she's self-obsessed. She barely has any emotion for her family or sisters or anybody. All she cares about is her image, her social media. She's loud. She wears eyeliners with her night suit. It was good fun. It was good fun. I just I don't think she takes herself seriously, and I don't take her seriously. So it was a risk playing this character, but I just wanted to just take this risk. And I said, why not? If there's one thing that one has learned from the pandemic, is that you got one life, just take all these risks. So I did. And yeah, it was good fun.
No, absolutely. And the best part about being an actor is that you need to do characters which many times people are not expecting from you in the first place.
Yeah. I don't think people expect this from me. In fact, when it came to me also, I was like, are you sure you think I can do this? And then I also just went with it, because I also wanted to see. Not everything I try is going to work out. I don't know if this did. I'm getting some interesting reactions since it's come out. And I love it. I like the reactions. I like I said, मुझे पता था कि ये character endearing नहीं है. ये character वो नहीं है जिसके लिए आप feel करेंगे. This is a character that I hope laugh at, So
right.
And that's what's happening. And she's some people find her endearing, some people find her annoying. She is all of this,
right.
Very intentional.
Right.
So
a bit of Pooh as well.
A bit, yes. A bit. Pooh is such an iconic character, no? It's just very difficult to not be compared to that character. But she is, probably.
Right.
I think Pooh would be Kamini's favorite Bollywood character for sure. क्योंकि वो भी अपनी favorite है.
And she can be wicked as well.
Yeah. She can be very wicked. She's very competitive. She can say some really mean things. That's what I'm saying. कि जब मैंने ये character पढ़ा भी मुझे पता था कि this is not your sweet girl. This is not. And I've always played the sweet girl. I've always been the girl next door, the good girl, or on television for the longest time. So I think for me it was fun to just do something without the baggage of wanting to be liked as a character. I don't think she's going to be liked.
Can you also have any reference point, maybe say as a Jane Austen character?
Jane Austen character? I don't know. What did you think?
Like, because they're four sisters and they're different characters. And even Jane Austen, the way she had these society people and various strata of society. And it also showcased the flaky side of it, in terms of the worldly wise in a way, or the ones who are moved by high society people. The prince has to be royal.
Yeah.
It cannot be a commoner. So maybe from that perspective.
I just honestly think that it's not that deep at all. This is silly fun. It's just silly fun. It doesn't. it doesn't take itself seriously. So I don't think it's something that's going to make people, these characters are not exactly layered. These characters are just like these crazy people. They are very different and they celebrate their difference. They don't really get along. My character barely has any personal growth whole season. So, they're not, it's just, this show is kind of like an escape. It's just for you to have a good laugh. I don't think it's going to make anybody ponder over life or to think about anything deep. Even with their relationships with each other and their father, there isn't, it's sweet, it's heartwarming, but there isn't that, it's not drama that's going to move you. It's not that. It's just, I think the idea is and the intention is for like people to just sit together and be able to laugh at the silliness of it and at the quirks of these characters, I think. So
Right. What I personally feel, it's maybe slightly more than that. It definitely is funny. It is irreverent. It is entertaining in a different manner, and something novel as well. But at the same time, and I think when you can come up with perspective, when you are not trying to force it or just shove it down someone's throat. So I believe it becomes even more organic. Like I'll just give you one reference. So you have this conversation with your father, and what was it that really made him realize that she's the one? And the answer given by Naseer, the father, in that case, it can be construed as in a way profound.
That age old, कि एक राजकुमार होता है और एक there's a stable boy and there's this princess who's confused. It's all very simple, but it is said in a in a way, and I love that scene actually, of course, because it is one of my scenes with Naseer Saab, and just to be able to, and I remember we shot it. It was the first scene I shot with him, and it is a one-on-one scene with him, and just to be able to share space with the Naseeruddin Shah is, I think, stuff of bucket list for any actor.
Yeah.
But so it is one of my most favorite scenes, and that part is just very heartwarming the way he says it, and he says it so simply, even without making a. You're right, it is profound, but there is no message. He doesn't tell her anything except that I just knew. I knew, and I didn't care about her class or about the money or the fact that she was not a princess. I just knew that she was the one. That's it. It's just simple. So so it has those moments, definitely. Like there are those emotional beats, there are those moments, but I think at best what they do, like they bring a genuine smiles, I'm hoping, but they're not essentially like comments on anything bigger.
All right. Okay.
So,
Okay. We'll settle for that. It was so hilarious when you make that statement. I think in episode second or first that poor people are lazy, and this is something that Kritika Kamra in real life is a complete contrast to the. You stand up for causes, and I believe you have taken up this cause of weavers. You're a graduate from NIFT, and in Madhya Pradesh, in your hometown, I believe you've been doing a lot of work for them. So that was truly funny, especially it's coming from someone who's completely contrast as a person.
That's because you know me, and I think for anybody who knows me, maybe it's fun. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun just saying it also, because it's so tone deaf. It is so tone deaf. She is so oblivious of real life and real people, and she has no empathy. And she's not even aware of it. And she keeps saying कि मुझे पता नहीं चलता, मेरे दिमाग में जो भी आता है मैं बोल देती हूँ. She says the most politically incorrect things throughout the show. She calls people plebeians.
Right.
She's just she pushes this guy who she's attracted to just because she thinks that, oh my God, he's not good enough, or he's not royalty. And then she says this about poor people and pays a good price for it. So it was fun for me. It was a lot of fun for me to not judge the character, or actually to judge the character and let it be judged, and just be okay with that. like to let people see that she is like this.
It also seemed like maybe a conscious or an unconscious effort on your part to in a way reinvent yourself as well, because the way you're styled in the show, it's something which is very fresh. It's not that of an actor who has been doing work for quite some time. It seems like a newcomer in a way, like, someone whom you're seeing for the first time, maybe, or maybe एक दो इससे shows करे हुए हैं इससे पहले. Would you agree that the way the showcasing of your styling and is there, and the way you're looking is something in a way it reinvents you as an actor?
I really hope so. I think the look, especially, and it wasn't just for fun, right? The character is such. She's an Instagram influencer. She's lost all, sense of real and real life. She behaves like she's on camera all the time. She talks in a certain way, and which is all very deliberate. It's all very, very deliberate. She is a bit over the top all the time. Everything, all her emotions are heightened. She looks a certain way. She's so concerned about the way she looks, that the look, the styling, the makeup, everything was a huge part of Kamini. We used to, like, I've barely repeated any hairstyles. I've done these crazy hair. I'm wearing purple eyeshadow, blue eyeliner with night suit. I'm in a bathrobe with full makeup on. It's just it's just outlandish almost, but it was a part of the character, and I think that's what made the character fun. The character needed to be colorful, almost like in your face, because that's her personality. And it was fun for me because I've always done more subtle parts, more realistic, I would say. On television, I had this image of a good girl, of the girl next door. And I got a lot of love for it. So for me, it was just a risk to take, something to try. It was an experiment for me almost. But if it looks fresh, then I think that experiment is successful. Then I'd be really happy.
All right. Okay. And so, Kritika, your last show came under a lot of scanner in terms of a lot of curiosity around it, controversy, and the works. As an actor, do you feel at times that maybe it is better to play safe subjects, safe roles, and primarily to just maybe entertain the audience, because ultimately people desperately need to be entertained and to find happiness in life as well. That's equally important.
Definitely important, but that's not a yardstick in my head. That's not something that I think about when choosing something. I don't see how risky or safe. When I say risky, I mean risky in terms of like me playing it, like something that's away from my personality, that becomes risky for me. That's the challenge I'd like to take. But otherwise, I think it's important to be a part of all kind of, I would like to be a part of all kind of stories, whether they make you uncomfortable or whether they just entertain you. And I know that they are different from each other. Not every show is going to do the same thing. Like I said myself, with Tandav, it started all kinds of conversation, and good, bad, whatever it was, but it started conversation. And we always knew it would sort of talk about, things, because it was a comment on things happening around us. With this show, it's an absolutely disconnected show. It's, these are not relatable characters. It's a dysfunctional family. It's just purely entertainment. So I think as an actor, my job is to do both these things convincingly, and that's what I want to continue doing. So I just want to be part of stories that challenge me, and that I think would, of course, entertaining people is a primary part of what I do, but also it's important. Sometimes I'm fortunate to be part of stories that do something more than just entertaining, and I enjoy that too.
Of course. Okay, and you mentioned in your interviews that you're really fascinated with the fact that you'll be working with Naseeruddin Shah Sahab. Now, when it comes to Naseer Sahab, one cannot take away the fact that he's also this voice in real life, which a lot of people appreciate, some people don't.
Yeah.
So when you're appreciative of any actor, any stalwart like Naseer Sahab, the fact that he also has a certain perspective about life and situations and views, Does that also contribute to your respect for a gentleman like him?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Naseer Saab is known to not mince his words, always spoken his mind. He's always, been fearless and been straightforward, even when he's faced with all kinds of challenges and people have said things about him, but he continues to speak to say what he believes. And that is incredible, especially for a legend like him, because he has so many people and so many people's expectations and so much attention all the time. During the shoot of this show, especially, the show was a lot of fun, of course, but we used to spend a lot of time just talking. We used to have dinner together, all of us. We were in a bio bubble shooting in Rajasthan, so a lot of time was spent. It almost became like a family, and people used to sit and chill together after shoots. And those conversations about just life, art, acting, politics with Naseer Saab are some of my most cherished memories. I'm so grateful for that experience. I mean, how many people get to sit with him and have these conversations? So that was also kind of surreal and a big takeaway for me. His perspective on things and his insight on things, as not just an experienced uh, experienced legendary actor, but also, I mean, he's an acting teacher. He's a theater giant. And then of course his knowledge on everything, life, this country, just literature, art. It was just absolutely surreal.
I'm sure. Many a times we hear this statement from actors कि ये हमारा पहला scene था, and obviously it is not the one that they shot, and obviously it is not part of the chronicle that we as viewers see that particular scene. So as actors, when you're given a script and you're told that this is the scene that we are going to be shooting first, so how does it happen, and why is the reason that certain scenes which are going to be showcased much later are shot first? Because this is something that I've heard from many actors.
You can be very lucky. Sometimes things are shot chronologically, and that really helps as an actor, because then you have lived things in the order of, in the correct sequence. And then when a certain scene from, say, an eighth episode or ninth episode comes, then you're automatically prepared for it because you've lived the scenes before that. But a lot of times that doesn't happen, because the shoot schedule is based on so many factors, people's dates, locations, the time of day, the light, everything. So a lot of times you end up shooting things that are not in the chronological order. Like in this case, we shot this scene that we were referring to, my Man Ki Baat with dad, with Naseer Saab, the scene that comes in the 8th episode. We actually shot it pretty early on in the schedule. But I think what helps is that now everybody has these extensive readings, and we do these table reads, so everybody knows the sequence and everybody knows, has the graph in their head, so it's easy to go back and forth. But of course, if it just so happens that you end up shooting linear, it is always a great asset. I think as an actor, it really helps me.
I also came to know through the show that the Man Ki Baat doesn't have to be a monologue; it can also be a conversation.
Yes.
Okay, and so you've also said in I think one of your interviews that you find the OTT platforms and the way it functions more democratic, and the way the box office parameters of cinema is there. That is something that can be a bit unnerving for actors many times. So, would you want to say something about that?
Yes, definitely. I think it now come down to just good content and good performance, no matter on what medium, will find its audience. A good story will find its audience. It's now, I think, more fair than it's fairer than just leaving it to box or TRPs, even for that reason. So I think now, because of web and because of now films are also coming to OTT, there are shows that are also being aired, that also find their place on web. Then there are web originals. So there's so much content that automatically the good filters from the bad on its own. And on web, things are just available. Once they drop, they are just there. Then they're in the library. So sometimes shows or films can find their audiences in due course of time, not immediately. So nothing is really determined by a certain weekend or a weekly TRP day, which I think is great for content, because then you can just, I guess that's why there is more experimental content being made for web than any other medium right now.
Of course. What sort of projects have been coming your way?
Interesting stuff. I can't complain. I'm excited about the two things that I'm currently working on, and they are very different from Tandav and Shikharwati both. So, but the thing is that because of these multiple lockdowns and things have just been slow, so I think it will take some more time for these shows to come out. But I'm having a lot of fun currently. It's yeah, can't complain.